Ever wondered why we don't wear powdered wigs or those insane Elizabethan ruffs anymore? Fashion today seems pretty normal, but history is packed with styles that would make you do a double take. Get ready to dive into the most bizarre, beautiful, and utterly forgotten fashion trends that shaped our ancestors and, in some surprising ways, still influence what we wear today. Let's start our journey in 16th century Venice, a city of wealth, art, and ridiculously tall shoes. I'm talking about the chapin. These weren't your average platforms. We're talking about stilts that could reach up to 20 inches high. Imagine trying to navigate the cobblestone streets and canals of Venice on those. Originally designed to protect delicate shoes and long hemlines from mud and grime, chapins quickly became a powerful status symbol. The taller the shoe, the higher your social standing. It was a literal representation of being above everyone else. Of course, walking in them was a logistical nightmare. Wealthy women needed attendants, sometimes two, just to stay upright. It was less about walking and more about a slow, deliberate, and very conspicuous procession. So, while they were wildly impractical, they were the ultimate display of luxury. You weren't just wearing shoes. You were broadcasting that you were so wealthy you didn't even need to walk on your own. It was fashion as performance art, and it was a trend that literally elevated women to new heights. Now let's hop over to Elizabethan England, where the neck was the center of attention. I'm talking about the ruff. These massive pleated collars started as simple frills on a shirt, but exploded into enormous wheel-like structures that could extend a foot or more from the neck. Like the chapin, a larger ruff signaled greater wealth. Why? Because they were incredibly expensive and difficult to maintain. Creating a ruff was a masterpiece of engineering. Fine linen or lace was painstakingly set into figure-8 pleats using heated metal poking sticks. Then it was stiffened with starch, a new and expensive substance at the time. A single ruff could use up to 6 yards of fabric. Wearing one was a statement. It forced you to hold your head high, giving you a proud and somewhat aloof posture. But it also made simple things, like eating, a serious challenge. Spilling soup on your starched masterpiece was a social and financial disaster. The ruff was the original power dressing accessory, a starched halo of status that framed the face and declared your importance to the world. Jumping forward to the early 20th century, we find a trend that, unlike the chapin or ruff, was designed to restrict rather than elevate. Meet the hobble skirt. As the name suggests, this skirt was so narrow at the ankles that it forced women to take tiny, mincing steps to hobble. It was the complete opposite of the freeing, athletic spirit that was beginning to emerge for women. So why on earth did it become fashionable? It's created by French designer Paul Poiret. The hobble skirt was seen as sleek, modern, and daringly new. It got rid of the petticoats and bustles of the Victorian era, creating a long, slender silhouette that was considered the height of sophistication. Despite its impracticality, stories abound of women tripping, falling, and even being unable to step onto streetcars became a symbol of a new, albeit constrained, femininity. It was a fashion paradox, a modern style that physically held women back. Thankfully, its reign was short-lived. But it remains a fascinating example of how aesthetics can sometimes triumph over all logic and comfort. Now, you might think these styles are just relics, confined to museums and history books. But you'd be surprised how their echoes still resonate in our closets today. Let's look at the powdered wig of the 17th and 18th centuries. These elaborate, often towering hairpieces were a sign of aristocracy. But beyond status, they were also a practical solution for an era with questionable hygiene. Lice were a common problem, so men and women would shave their heads and wear wigs, which were easier to deluce than natural hair. The powder, usually made from starch and scented with lavender or orange, helped absorb oils and give the wig its signature white or grayish color. While we've thankfully left the lice and lead-based powders behind, the desire for voluminous, structured hair is still with us. Think about the hours we spend teasing our roots, the countless products we use for volume and hold, from hairspray to mousse to texturizing powders. That quest for height, shape, and structure is a direct descendant of the grand architectural hairstyles of the past. The powdered wig spirit lives on every time we aim for that perfect, gravity-defying hairdo. Let's go even further back, to ancient Egypt. Their makeup wasn't just for beauty, it was spiritual and practical. The iconic kohl eyeliner we associate with Cleopatra wasn't just for dramatic effect. The dark mineral paste was believed to ward off the evil eye and, more practically, the lead and copper salts within it had antibacterial properties and helped deflect the harsh desert sun. But they also practiced a form of facial sculpting that feels incredibly modern. Archaeologists have found evidence of Egyptians using different shades of ochre and clay to create dimension on the face. They would use a reddish tint on their cheeks and lips for a healthy glow and perhaps lighter or darker shades to subtly shape their features. Sound familiar? This is the ancient root of contouring. Today, we use bronzers, highlighters, and contour sticks to sculpt our cheekbones, define our jawlines, and shape our noses. The tools and formulas have changed, but the fundamental idea of using light and shadow to enhance and define our facial structure is a beauty. It's a secret that's thousands of years old. And what about menswear? Let's talk about the codpiece. During the Renaissance, this prominent pouch attached to the front of a man's breeches was an unmissable part of the male silhouette. Initially, it was a simple flap to provide modesty as tunics got shorter, but fashion, as it does, took over. The codpiece grew in size and became padded, decorated, and even used as a pocket for small valuables. It became a powerful symbol of masculinity, virility, and status. While the literal codpiece has thankfully retired from mainstream fashion, its abstract influence persists. Think about how modern menswear still uses subtle and not-so-subtle ways to emphasize certain areas or create a powerful silhouette. The structured shoulders of a blazer, the specific cut of a pair of jeans, or even the prominent logos on a belt buckle serve to draw the eye and project an image of strength or status. The codpiece may be gone, but the principle of using clothing to emphasize and project masculinity is a thread that continues to run through men's fashion. Sometimes, forgotten trends don't just influence us quietly. They come roaring back to life. Take the puffed sleeve, a defining feature of the 1830s and again in the late Victorian era. These dramatic, voluminous sleeves were designed to make the waist appear smaller by comparison. For decades, they were seen as hopelessly old-fashioned, the stuff of costume dramas. But then in the 2010s and 2020s, they exploded back onto high-fashion runways and into our favorite stores. Suddenly, puffed, Juliet and Bishop sleeves were everywhere, on blouses, dresses, and even jackets. The modern version is often softer and more wearable, but the dramatic silhouette is unmistakable. It's a perfect example of the cyclical nature of fashion. A trend can lie dormant for a century, only to be rediscovered and reinterpreted by a new generation that finds it fresh, romantic, and powerful. It shows that no trend is ever truly gone for good. Another dramatic comeback is the corset. For centuries, it was a foundational garment shaping the female body into the fashionable silhouette of the time. But by the 20th century, it had become a symbol of patriarchal oppression and physical constraint, something women fought to be free from. For decades, the idea of willingly wearing a corset seemed unthinkable, and yet here we are. In recent years, the corset has been completely reclaimed. It's no longer a hidden undergarment, but a celebrated outer layer. It's worn over t-shirts, blouses, or on its own. It's become a statement piece of empowerment and personal style. From structured shapewear that smooths our silhouette to decorative corset tops, its modern appeal lies in choice. We wear it not because we have to, but because we want to, transforming a symbol of constraint into one of confidence and aesthetic expression. Finally, let's address a controversial one: tights and sandals. For many, this is a cardinal fashion sign. But history might disagree. In ancient Rome, soldiers stationed in colder climates like Britain wore socks, known as adones, with their open-toed military sandals. Archaeological evidence confirms this. shattering our image of chilly, bare-toed Romans. The pairing has popped up at various other points in history for purely practical reasons. Today, it has re-emerged as a divisive but undeniable street-style trend. Fashion-forward individuals are pairing sheer, colorful, or patterned tights and socks with heels and sandals, turning a perceived faux pas into a deliberate, quirky, and stylish statement. It's a testament to how fashion rules are made to be broken, and how even the most unlikely historical footnotes can find a new life on the modern runway, or at least on our city streets. So, what have we learned from this journey through fashion's weird and wonderful past? We've seen that what seems bizarre in one era is the height of style in another. We've discovered that impracticality is often no match for a powerful status symbol. And most importantly, we've seen that the clothes we wear today are woven with the threads of history. Understanding these historical trends gives us a new perspective. It helps us see the cyclical nature of fashion and maybe even predict what might come back next. The next time you put on an oversized blazer, a statement collar, or even just sculpt your face with contour, take a second to think about the history you're carrying. You're not just wearing a trend, you're wearing a story. What other forgotten trends do you think deserve a comeback, or should stay buried in the past? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. And do UNT forget to like and subscribe so you do UNT miss our next deep dive into the fascinating world of fashion history.